So connecting with the previous lecture, the lecture topic is control charts for variable. So in this lecture, I'm just going to tell you about the control charts. So in the control chart, before you need to know what is line chart. So line chart is a time series chart. So if you can see that we have some specific time data, when we plot that data while using some specific software, so this is the behavior of the data and these are the error. For example, if you want to check in a production line that on the daily basis how many error occur. So let's suppose this is Monday, this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then again Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So this is a daily based data. So this represent time and these are the error. So let's suppose these are the 5 error on Monday. On the Tuesday the error increase, which is now 7. Then on Wednesday it's again down. On Thursday it's again going up. So if you plot this error data, you just collect this data from a specific organization, from a specific industrial organization, or from some specific production line. So you need to plot the data. So basically this is just a line. So line chart, so from line chart you wouldn't be able what is good and what is bad. This is just visually showing you that what's going on. At this day it's very low, then it's going up, then it's going down. But with this data you wouldn't be able to use it for prediction, you wouldn't be able to use to say something, you wouldn't be able to decide what is good, what is bad. But now we will use this type of data, we will construct an average line. When we construct an average line, just like we already construct a linear regression line, but in this example we will not construct an linear regression, but we will just calculate the average. We will take the average and we will know after that how much deviation occurs, because from the mean line, when we construct a mean line, then we will be able to check that how much deviation occur from the mean line. So you can see this is run chart. Before it was a line chart, this is now a run chart. We just calculate the mean. So before it was 5 on Monday, 7, then again it was 3 on Wednesday, on Thursday it's going up to 8, let's suppose. So when we take the mean of all these errors, so on the basis of that mean we construct this line. So let's suppose the mean of this is 6, let's suppose. So this is the mean. Then we will check now that what is the deviation from the mean line. So there is too much deviation occur. The deviation is up and this deviation is down. Okay, so similarly with each node, with each point, there is some deviation occur. So in the next line we will construct this run chart, and then on the basis of this average line we will design the upper control limit and the lower control limit. So control chart is, you will define an upper control limit, you will define a lower control limit, that this is the minimum point and this is the upper point. So then you need to decide which point is going outside from this and which point is going below this point. So on the basis of this we will construct this. So you can see these are the deviation from the mean. So there is a very minute deviation, but at this point it is a very high deviation and it is on the upper side, and this deviation is on the lower side. This deviation is also on the lower side, but it's very minute. Similarly this one is also minute. So on the basis of this we will decide what should we need to do, how to remove this, how to bring all these deviation near to the mean, and then from the different random experiment we will check, we will understand that which point is going out and which point is going inside the control chart. So you can see that basically we using two specific bar charts. One is X bar chart and one is R bar chart. So X bar chart, normally we construct this for the mean. We want to check the behavior of the mean, that mean is at the same point, mean is not going up. For example, in first week the mean was, let's suppose, 16. And on the second week, let's suppose the mean was 15.9. So in order to check this behavior, this type of behavior, we will use X bar chart. In order to check the dispersion behavior in the data, let's suppose on the first week, the dispersion is this one, the shape of the distribution is this one. But on the second week, the distribution shape is changed. So in order to measure this dispersion, in order to measure this change in the chart, we will use R bar chart. So these two things, the X bar chart monitor mean, R bar chart monitor the dispersion deviation in the data. In statistical control, on one chart out of control, on the other chart it's okay. So sometime if we use the X bar chart, maybe the experiment will be okay. But if you're using the result of R bar chart, maybe the result, we will not accept the result. So now in order to further clarify it, I'm just going to show you some more visual figures in order to understand. So you can see before the mean was 3.5 and the standard deviation is 1.5. In this one, the mean is 3.5, but the standard deviation is changed. So the mean of this one and the mean of this one is same at 3.5 and 3.5, but the standard deviation. So you can check the behavior of the data. There is too much dispersion in this one, but the dispersion, because it's going to the peak, it's a platy type of distribution, but this one is a little bit dispersed one. So you can see that the standard deviation of this one is 1.5 and the standard deviation of this one is 0.7. Similarly, so in order to check this behavior, because we will not knowing it directly, so what should we need to do in order to check this behavior? Because the mean is same, but the distribution is changed. So R chart can tell us about this phenomenon. Similarly, if you have a look this one, the standard deviation of this one and this one is same, 0.7, 0.7, but their mean is variating. Their mean is going change because this one mean is 3.5 and this one mean is 1.5. So in order to check the mean variation, we will use X bar chart. In order to check the dispersion in a specific distribution, we will use R bar chart. So control charts for variable use X bar chart to monitor the change in the mean of a process, central tendency, mean, median and mode of a process, while R bar chart will be using to monitor the dispersion or variability of the process, that how much variation occur, how much deviation occur from the mean. So for that purpose, we will use R bar chart. System can show acceptable central tendency but unacceptable variability. So sometimes it depends on your experiment. Sometimes you accept the change in mean, but you not accept the change in dispersion. But it depends, it varies from experiment to experiment. System can show acceptable variability but unacceptable central tendency. So this is the case when the system will not be accepting the mean variation. But in this case, the system will accept the mean variation, but it will not accept the dispersion variation. So for example, in this these figures, you can see this is my lower control limit, this is my upper control limit. So the points which we disperse in this, so for example, we want to check those points which are in the plus sigma and minus 1 sigma. Its mean 68.3% will be lies in this. So 68.3%, its mean 683 divided by 1000. So 683 are an acceptable range, and the other remaining 1 minus 1000 minus 683 will be outside the range. So you can see it's still in the upper control limit and lower control limit, but it's not meet. These 2 points are outside from the 1 sigma, 1 plus minus 1 sigma. Similarly, this yellow section show the range of plus 2 sigma and minus 2 sigma. So minus and plus 2 sigma mean 95.5% are in the yellow area. 95, so 955 by 1000% are in this, and the remaining are outside. They not fulfill the plus minus 2 6 sigma. Okay, so in the third one is the 3 plus minus 3 sigma scenario. Plus minus 3 sigma scenario, that 99.7% will be in this range. So this is our lower control limit and our control limit. Normally in the control chart we use 3 sigma, plus 3 sigma and minus 3 sigma. Its mean 97 by 1000 are inside, but 1 is outside this range. So basically control chart will tell us that how much specific observation are inside the control limit and how much are outside the control limit. So you can see in this example, this red circle one is going out from the upper control limit. So basically these giving us an indicator, these giving us an indication that what should we need to do in order to bring this outside observation in the inside, in the 3 sigma or in the 2 sigma or in the 1 sigma. So for this purpose, we need to remodify our designing pace. We need to focus on our training. We need to further check the raw material, etc., etc. So before going to discuss more, I'm just going to discuss a very simple example for the X bar chart. Constructing an X bar chart, a quality control inspector at the Coca Fits soft drink company has taken 3 samples with 4 observations. Each of the volume of bottle filled. Let's suppose a quality inspector visiting a specific cold drink factory. Let's suppose the factory name is Coca Fits. They want to check that how much volume of drink they put in each bottle, because the company claim. So if you read it further, if the standard deviation of the bottling operation is 0.2 ounces, use the below data to develop control chart with limit of 3 standard deviation for the 16 ounce bottling operation, because they claim that in each bottle they put 16 ounce of the drink. So now the inspector just randomly take 3 sample with 4 observations. Let's suppose they have 4 warehouses or 4 different areas. So from each they just take 3 sample with 4 observations. So sample 1 from the first observation, he just checked, because they claim that in each bottle this with limit of 3 standard deviation for the 16 ounce, that there is 16 ounce of liquid or drink in each bottle. So when they check, they calculate 15.8. In the second observation, it was exactly 16. In the third observation, it was 15.8. In the fourth observation, it was 15.9. Similarly, in sample 2, because she collect 3 sample with 4 observation. So in the second sample, the observation first result was 16.1, observation 2 was 16, observation 3 was 15.8, and observation 4 was 15.9. Similarly, for the sample 3, 16, 15.9, 15.9 and 15.8. Then what he did, he just checked the mean. So this plus this plus this plus this divided by 4, because we have 4 observations. So the sample 1 mean is 15.8. So it's not meet this. 16.1 plus 16 plus 15.8 plus 15 by 9 divided by 4, because the sample 2 he also taken from the 4 observations. So that is why we divide with 4. So 15.95 is the mean. For sample 3, the mean was 15.90. And how he calculated range? So range, the highest one is, which one is the heaviest one? 16, and the lowest one is 15.8. So 16 minus 15.8, which is the range will be, because range definition is the highest minus the lowest. The difference between highest and lowest is called range. So this is 0.2. Similarly, the highest is 16.1 and 15.8 is the lowest one. So 0.3 will be the range. Similarly, from this one 0.2. Now we want to calculate upper control limit and lower control limit. But first of all, we need to calculate the mean average, just like I show you in the line chart, in the run chart. So now we need to construct a run chart, which is also called central line. So in order to construct a central line, you need to calculate mean of the mean. So we have already calculated mean of this sample, we have already calculated mean of this and this. Now you need to calculate the mean of this mean. So 15.88 plus 15.95 plus 15.90 divided by how many? 3. You need to divide with 3. So when you conduct it, you will calculate the mean. And the sigma standard deviation, how you will calculate, where k is the number of sample means. So we have 3 samples, so that is why k will represent the number of, and n is the number of observation in each sample. Okay. So now in order to construct this upper control limit and lower control limit, we will use this formulation x double bar plus z. Z basically showing you the standard normal distribution of sigma, and x double bar for lower we will deduct, and for upper we will add this. Now using this, in order to calculate x double bar, in order to calculate mean, so 15.88 plus 15.95 plus 15.90 divided by 3, because k is the number of sample mean. So we have 3 sample mean, 1, 2, 3. So when you divide it, it will be 15.92. So our central line will be 15.9. Our run line will be, our average line will be 15.992. In order to calculate upper control limit, so this is the formula, x double bar. So we have already calculated x double bar, which is 15.92. 15.92 plus 3, because they already mentioned that use the below data to develop control chart with limit of 3 standard deviation. So in previous slides, I show you 3 standard deviation. 3 standard deviation mean that the company using 3 standard deviation mean they claiming that out of 1000 we producing 997 product are effective while 3 are defective. So they just meet 3 standard deviation. So that is why we will use 3 sigma. So now you need to calculate sigma, 3 standard deviation, and they already give you if the standard deviation of the bottling operation is 0.2, because they already giving you this standard deviation of the bottling, that the deviation from the mean is 0.2. 0.2 mean, let's suppose they putting liquid 16 ounce in each bottle. So they say that there is sometime ups or sometime down. Sometime the amount of liquid in the bottle will be 16.2. Sometime it will be 15.8. So means such like error occur in every production if they meeting 3-6 sigma. So 100% will not be possible. 100% mean if you monitor 1000 bottle, it will not be possible. Then in each bottle it will be exactly 16 ounce. Okay, so they already claim that the deviation from the mean, so mean is 16, so mean the deviation from the mean is, because this they claim this is 16, they putting liquid of 16 ounce. So the deviation will be occur, mean ups and down from the mean will be 0.2. So this is the ups and down, deviation from the mean is 0.2. So when you put this 0.2 plus 3 sigma, because they already mentioned that use 3 standard deviation. So Z will be 3 standard deviation. So you need to use 0.2 because they already mentioned, and divided by n, because how many observation they did. So the drink company has taken 3 sample with 4 observations. So basically he took these sample from 4 observation. So that is why we will divide with 4, and in the formula of sigma divided by n. Okay, so when we put these values in this, so it will be 16.22. And the lower control limit you need to deduct it, so it will be 15.62. So when you sketch it in Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Visio or in some other software, it will be look like this one, 15.92. So 15.92, this is my average line. This is my average line which we have already calculated while taking the mean of these mean. So 15.92, and if we scatter these things, if we scatter the collected data, so how many points? 1, 2, 3, and we have 4 observations, so 4 3s are 12. So when we sketch it, we will get this. Some point will be near this, sometime will be point will be above, some will be below, some will be. So basically these are the deviation from the mean. These are the ups and downs from the mean. Now we need to decide. The inspector should need to decide that your process is in control or your process is out of control. Did you meet the standard for which you claim? You claim that the standard deviation will be 0.2, mean the ups and downs from the mean will be 0.2, and we putting 16 ounces in each bottle. So did you meet this criteria or not? Now the inspector will decide. She will give you the green signal, okay, go to produce some more, or she will stop your production that you not meet the standards. So now in order to decide, this is my upper control limit 16.22. So 16.22, it will be lie over there, and this is my 15.62 is my lower control limit. 15.62 is my lower control limit. So it will be 15.62 will be lie at this place. This will be the 16.22. So now in order to check, what should you need to do? You need to decide if all these points, so we have already sketched these points. So let me show you. So you can see that the central line, which is 15.92, the upper control limit is 16.22, and the lower control limit is 15.62. So if you have just if you have a look these observations, so 15.8 is the lowest among all these and 16.1 is the highest. So 16.1, where it will be lying? 16.1 will be lying over there. So we not violating mean it will be 16.88 and 15.88 will be 15.88, which is the lowest one among all these observations. So 15.88 will be lie over there, let's suppose over there. So no point is above the upper control limit and no point is below the lower control limit. So the inspector will give them a green signal that it's okay. You fulfill the claim which you already mentioned. If the standard deviation of the bottling operation is 0.2 ounces, use the below data to develop control chart with limit of 3 standard deviation for the 16 ounce bottling operation. So now basically they mention 3 standard deviation. If they mention, let's suppose 4 sigma or 5 sigma or 6 sigma, so you can also check it. And 6 sigma mean you are near 100% perfect production, which will be very difficult for you. So now in that case your upper control limit and lower control limit will be changed. Maybe you will not fulfill that condition. So basically they only mention that in this example use only 3 6 sigma, so we use 3 sigma.